This week we continue our coverage of the 2007 AFC Asian Cup qualifiers. After 9 months, 4 rounds of matches, 3 countries remained in contention from Group B. Korea Republic, Iran, and Syria. As matchday 5 dawned, 2 of these nations could confirm their qualification. The Koreans are top of the pile and need just a point against Syria to qualify. Iran will also progress if they beat Chinese Taipei. The Seoul World Cup Stadium was the venue as Korea Republic played host to Syria. Unbeaten thus far in the qualifiers at home, the Koreans were eager to extend that record as they started strongly. Cho Jae-jin making things uncomfortable for Syria early on. The visitors didn't heed that warning and paid the price soon after. Jae-jin with the goal thanks to Choi Sun-kook's pinpoint delivery. The home side ahead after just 9 minutes. But Korea's advantage didn't last long. A moment of madness from keeper Kim Yong-kwan gave Syria an opening. Mahir Al-Sayed took up the invitation to score from the tight angle. All square again after 18 minutes. Syria almost turned the tables 3 minutes later. Kim redeemed himself from his earlier misdeeds with a reflex save to deny Zayad Chabo. The Koreans woke up from their temporary slumber and began to push into their counterparts' half. Jae-jin failed to make contact from Seo Ki-hyun's promising cross. 3 minutes before the break, the Taeguk Warriors had one more chance to regain their lead. Kim Do-hyun couldn't make the most out of the free kick as the score remained 1-1 at half-time. Although a draw was enough for the Koreans to qualify, they were keen to end their home campaign on a high. Do-hyun's header coming close on 53 minutes. The East Asians mounted another attack 8 minutes later. But Sun-kook's finish left a lot to be desired. Korea's best opening of the second half arrived on 73 minutes. Sun-kook again the guilty party. The hosts continued to lay siege on the Syria goal. The visitors somehow survived the onslaught. Time was running out. It was now or never for the East Asians. Jae-jin twisting and turning to no avail. The final whistle brought an end to matters, with Korea Republic booking their place into next year's finals in less than convincing fashion. Chinese Taipei hosted Iran in Group B's other encounter. This was largely a one-sided affair, with the Persians dominating. Reza Enayati wasting Iran's first chance on 7 minutes. The visitors continued to press and got their reward 4 minutes later. Ali Karami, the beneficiary, with a simple tap-in after some good work on the right by captain Mehdi Madavikia. 1-0 to Iran, and that's how it was at half-time. Karami was in the thick of things once again after the restart. In the 57th minute, the 2004 AFC Player of the Year made the game safe with his second of the night. The full-time whistle brought an end to proceedings at the Taipei Municipal Stadium. Iran confirmed their place in the Asian Cup finals for the 11th time. So, confirmation of the standings. Korea Republic and Iran going through on 11 points. The sides will meet on November the 15th to decide who will win the group and take the seeded spot for next year's finals. This had to be the most exciting group of the 2007 AFC Asian Cup qualifiers. After 4 rounds of battle, all 4 countries in Group E were still in contention to qualify for the finals in Southeast Asia next year. Asian Cup 2004 runner-up China were the obvious favourites to qualify. They started their campaign on the right note, collecting all 3 points against Palestine. Then on match day 2, disaster struck the Chinese in Al Ain. Iraq found their groove to inflict a damaging loss to China. Ju Guanghu's men recovered some measure of form when they took on Singapore, winning 1-0 at home and escaping with a point away. Here's the equation of Group E heading into match day 5. Iraq and China on identical points and goal difference at the top, but discount Singapore and Palestine at your peril. A win for the Chinese at the King Abdullah International Stadium over Palestine would guarantee them a place in the finals if Iraq defeated Singapore. China were the obvious favourites in this encounter, and they showed their class right from the start. Zhao Yang having a go at Palestine keeper Ramzi Saleh on 13 minutes. Then 11 minutes later, captain Zheng Ji took his place on the firing range. His strike, though, posed little trouble for Saleh. The travelling legion of Chinese fans were getting restless as they waited impatiently for their side to draw first blood. That goal arrived in the 27th minute. Mao Jiangjing ramming home the goal to spark off wild celebrations among the Chinese faithful. 1-0 to China. Palestine were forced to push up. But on this night, the desired finishing was simply non-existent for the West Asians. Despite their misfiring forwards, the Palestine fans were in high spirits. Those cheers were cruelly silenced by Sun Xiang in the 64th minute. The 24-year-old releasing the pile driver, which gave Saleh no chance at all. 2-0 China, and they were in cruise control now. Sun was the main Chinese driving force in the second half, as he forced a save from Saleh on this occasion. Time was running out for the Palestinians, but it was China who looked likelier to extend their lead. Substitute Zhu Ting forcing his way through, only to be denied at the last moment. Roberto Bechet could have snatched a consolation goal for the Palestinians a minute from the end. But keeper Li Lei grabbed all of the glory for himself. In the end, China completed their part of the bargain. Now they needed Iraq to do them a favour. With China victorious against Palestine, all Iraq needed to do was secure 3 points against Singapore, and they'll be on their way to Southeast Asia next year. Singapore coach Radi Avramovic, though, must have read the wrong script, because his side took the lead early on. The perfect cross from Sharyl Ishak was met by the perfect header from striker Egmar Goncalves. 1-0 Singapore on 8 minutes. Iraq forged a response in the 34th minute, and it was all square again. Yunus Mahmoud waltzed his way through the static Singapore defence to open his side to count for the night. A cool finish from the 23-year-old. That's how it stayed at half-time, but 15 minutes after the restart, Iraq grabbed the initiative. Mahdi Karim taking advantage of a shambolic Singapore back line to carve Iraq's second of the night. 2-1 to the West Asians on 60 minutes. But just 2 minutes later, Singapore clawed their way back into the game. Khairul Amri's devious free kick fooling the entire Iraq defence to level matters. 2-2 in the 62nd minute. Unfortunately, that was all the Singaporeans could muster. A second goal from Mahmoud in the 68th minute knocked the stuffing out of Abramovich's men. Deep into injury time, Iraq sealed their ticket to next year's finals. Hawar Tahir putting the final gloss on the scoreline as Iraq left Singapore for dead at the Khalifa bin Zayed Stadium in Al Ain. 4-2 Iraq, the final reading in the UAE. That result meant both Iraq and China are through to Asia's premier football competition next year, the 2007 AFC Asian Cup Finals. Still to come, Kawasaki maintain their J-League title challenge by defeating Ventforet. And we have more action from Matchday 5 of the 2007 Asian Cup qualifiers.